So idle means like no activity. It's like something that should be moving but isn't moving, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah,
And sometimes
yes.
you can even use it in the same way that you use the word lazy. If you call someone idle, it means you're calling them lazy.
Okay.
Pachu, have you seen that word before, idle?
Yes.
Okay. And do you understand what it means? Is it pretty clear for you what it means?
Yes, a
Okay. Well, it
lazy
could be
person.
lazy, but really it means not moving. It means it should be moving, but it's not moving. It should be working, but it's not working.
Okay.
Okay, that's really what it means, but sometimes you can use it meaning lazy.
Yeah. Idle, we can also say it useless. Huh?
Useless and idle, I think, are two different things because something that is idle could be useful if you get it to move, but something that's useless, even if you move it, it's not going to do anything for you.
Okay.
So they're a little bit different. Mohammed, can you read the sentence, the example sentence?
The factory has been idle since the workers went on strike.
Okay, what does that mean to be on strike?
Like the worker saying, we will not work until we have a raise in salary.
That's right, something like that. Okay, the first. Can you read the first one, two, three, four, five words?
The factory has been idle.
Mm-hmm. In that phrase, the factory has been idle. What do you think are the most important words?
The factory and idle.
Okay, I agree with you. Now, in that word factory, which word has all of the power?
Factory.
Or which, I'm sorry, which
Uh,
syllable? Which syllable?
Second syllable.
That would be victory. Is it victory or factory?
So it will be the first factory.
Factory. Factory is the first syllable. That's a really important thing to pay attention to. Which syllable has all of the power? That's very important. Okay. How about in the word idle? Idle. Which syllable has all of the sound?
Idle. First letter.
The first
I.
letter. Okay. All right. Idle. So, how would you say factory plus has plus been? How does that sound when people are talking?
The factory has been idle.
Okay, but you know this has it. You can even make a contraction for this. This is okay to write if you want to write it. Factory's been. Factory's been.
The factory's been.
The factory's been.
The factory's been.
Uh huh. The factory's been idle.
The factory's been idle.
Hmm. And if you notice in English, if a word starts with a vowel sound, it will take the sound in front of it. So that's pronounced nidle, nidle, nidle,
Idle.
benidle, benidle.
Been idle.
The factory's been idle.
The factory's been idle.
Hmm. Pachu, can you say that?
The fact is been idle.
The factory's been idle. Okay. Say it again. The factory's been idle.
The fact is been idle.
Okay. Uh, Now, Pachu, let's see. What are the next Just read the next phrase. Read the final part of the sentence. What does it say?
Since the workers went on strike,
Which words do you think are most important in that phrase?
The two is for strike and the workers.
Okay, strike and workers. Those are important words.
Uh,
And in the word workers, which syllable has all of the power? Workers.
were
Workers. That's right. Workers. Can you say workers went on? Workers went on.
workers venom.
Workers went on strike.
Workers venom strike.
The workers went on strike.
The workers venom strike.
Yeah, so you notice I don't pronounce the T in went, but in the UK they probably would. They probably would say went on. The workers went
But
on strike.
yes, but living tea is easy, smooth, and no effort.
Yeah, it's
So
easier to say no. Yeah. The workers went on strike.
the workers uh, went on a strike.
The factory's been idle since the workers went on strike.
The factory's been idle since the workers went on a strike.
Hmm. Mohammed, can you say workers went on strike?
Workers on a strike.
Went on.
Workers went on strike.
The workers went on strike.
The workers went on strike.
Since the workers went on strike.
Since the workers went on strike.
The factory's been idle since the workers went on strike.
The factory's been idle since the workers went on strike.
Okay, Mohammed, how many phrases can we divide this sentence into?
Two.
What are the two phrases?
First one will end at idle.
Can you repeat that, please?
First will end at idle.
Okay, so the first phrase ends at idle. Okay. Now in the first phrase, the factory's been idle. How would you like that to sound? Would you like that to sound serious, or would you like that to sound nice and light and friendly?
Serious.
Serious, serious. Okay. So we'll make sure that this is all blue, no high tones, only low tones. But how will we start our phrase?
It's high tone.
With a high tone. Okay. All right. So it will sound like this. The factory's been idle.
The factory's been idle.
Can you say that, Pachu? The factory's been idle.
The factory's been idle.
Mhm. The factory's been idle.
The factory's been idle.
Okay. Pachu, what about the second phrase? How would you like that to sound? Would you like that to sound serious, or do you want it to sound nice and friendly?
The, the happy.
Happy? You want it to sound happy? Okay. So
Yes.
so what we'll do is we're going to have to put a high tone at the final part here, but we still have to make this blue. We still have to make this low at the end because a phrase will usually end low. So we'll have to apply two tones here. Strike,
Yeah.
strike.
S- Strike.
Okay,
Strike.
strike. How would the phrase start?
Is a high tone.
With a high tone, because most phrases start with a high tone.
Yes.
Since the workers went on strike.
Since the workers went on strike.
The factory's been idle since the workers went on strike. Strike.
The factory's been
Sorry.
the factory's been okay. So
Go
the
ahead.
factory's been idle since the workers went on a strike.
Uh-huh. Mohammed, can you say that? Strike. Strike.
Strike.
Since the workers went on strike.
since the workers went on strike.
The factory's been idle since the workers went on strike.
The factory been idle since the workers went on strike.
Okay. Well, Mohammed, can you make a since when factory idle question?
When was the factory been idle?
How would you make a question with the factory has been idle? What would be the question?
When was
Well, this,
when was the factory been idle?
okay, but this is not was, this is has. But I'm going to change this so it's clear, so you can see it. Okay, this is has been. This is present perfect. How will you make a question with the factory has been idle? What is the question form?
When the factory had been idle.
Forget about when. Just make a yes no question. Let's start with that. That's a basic question.
Is has the factory been idle?
Okay, so there's your basic question.
or or had.
Had is a different verb tense. We're not doing past perfect, we're doing present perfect. So we have to use has. That's what we're working with here. That had been, that has a different meaning than has been. So we don't want to change the meaning here. Okay.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Are you confused between the meaning of present perfect and past perfect?
No, no, I got it.
Okay. Can you make the question again? How would you say that?
Has the factory been idle?
Has the factory been idle? Okay, now that you have the basic question form, you can make a when question. Just put when in front. When?
When has the factory been idle?
Okay, but let's say since when. We have to use that. We want to use the word since. Since when has the factory been idle?
Since when the factory been since when has the factory been idle?
Okay, and you could say it like that. That would be okay, but most people probably would say, when has the factory been idle since? Can you say it like that? You put since at the end. When has the factory been?
When when has the factory been idle since?
Okay. And what would be the most important word in your question?
Uh, when
Yes. Okay. How would you? So how will you pronounce when? If it's very important, how will you pronounce it?
when
When. Make the e much longer. When. When.
when
How would you say when plus has plus the?
when as
When is the? When is the? When is the? When is the?
when the
When is or when's? You could say when's. When's the?
when the
When's z?
when
When?
when th- when the factory has been when the factory been idle since?
When's the factory been idle since? When has the factory been idle since?
When is the factory has been idle since?
Well, you made a little mistake. Can you try to say that again?
When's the factory been idle since?
Okay. Pachu, can you say that question? How would you say that question?
So when when is the factory been idle since?
When has the factory been idle since? Okay. What is the answer, Pachu? Since when has the factory been idle?
The factory's been idle since the workers went on strike.
Hmm. Uh, Mohammed, when has the factory been idle since?
The factory has been idle since the worker went on strike.
All right. Okay, let's move on to our next word.